All right, so here we are with another episode of Minecraft. We are picking up kind of where we left off last time in the large chamber where I was trying to clear it out as best I could. For those of you that have left the really helpful comments about using a shield and all that, you won't see it in this episode, but I am currently, not in this video, but in probably the next one, actively using a shield. So your comments have been heard and spoiler alert, it's helping a lot. So this is me just kind of clearing out the room and getting all of the materials before it despawns, which is always a whole lot of fun. I do, as always, you all know, really enjoy getting all of this copper. I might have to go in and take it for parts later on, but for now, we'll just accept that we're just getting these general stuff. And once I finish with that, you see I have a shield. It has been added, but that's also because it was given to me. Funny joke, I accidentally got my keyboard locked up, and so that took a little bit for me to fix it. But this is also when I realized that these things reset after a while, and I don't understand how. I was wondering if it could be that it resets after a certain time period where you have to complete the chamber under a certain period of time, or if it's because once you die, it resets the whole thing. I don't know. So if you guys happen to know that, let me know. But as you can tell, I died, losing all of my gear, but never fear, we had our backup material, or at least some of it, so we were able to run down and get all of those things and attack people with twigs and stuff and hit them as we went. But then we died again, and that meant we also lost our elytra, meaning our backup one, making the trip back a whole lot harder because we now would have to walk, which is a big bummer. But we had some of these lesser enchantment stuff, which was kind of helpful. And so, armed with a golden sword and following the path of the chicken eggs, we slowly walked our way all the way back over to the portal. I think that's probably one of the most annoying things about how far out I have to go for all of these updates, is just it takes forever for me to reach it because it's so far away. And the chicken egg is the only thing that marks it. So with my golden sword, I popped down and proceeded to quickly grab as much of my stuff. One nice thing is the fact that they tend to pick up my gear, so it makes it a little bit easier for me to get all of my stuff and kind of deal with it from there. So I dropped down here and I was attacking these guys with a chicken egg. Don't ask me why. That's my method. I eventually realized what I was doing as I started to panic that I was going to die before I got a chance to do anything. But with only half a heart left, we were able to collect ourselves and thankfully eat. I also am now using golden carrots because that was also suggested. So just making player number 2 a better player overall with all of your comments. So I wanted to double check when I did this that I had both of my elytras, because at the end of the day, and my boots, at the end of the day, all I care about are my boots and my elytras, because I like the enchantments that I have on my boots, and I also really don't want to have at all times 2 elytras in case I need to swap things around. Anyways, so I started getting attacked by this dude, picked up my boots, which I hadn't gotten yet, and then quickly decided that, you know what, we are not geared up enough for this. We are going to cut our losses, accept that we are currently not skilled enough, and we're gonna circle back to this at a later date when we are doing better and have more gear. So eventually swapped that stuff out and decided to head back. I also needed to put mending on a couple things, like my pants, because my pants don't have any mending on it. But either way, that was a close one. As you can see, arrows poking all the way through my head. But unfortunately, I accidentally exited the portal a different way than I normally do. and I got completely lost. And it basically took me, I want to say 30 minutes to find my way back, and I was pretty convinced that I was never going to find my way back, and I was really concerned. I was like, guys, I don't know what to do because I'm on the roof and I just don't remember where it was that the main portal was. And I've got fog turned on, which I might want to turn it back off because I had a little bit easier time spotting the portals at a distance, but at the same time, I also don't want to do that. And in the quest to being a little bit better equipped, I decided to go get some netherite so I would have at least one piece covered in netherite armor. And so I was wandering around trying to do it. I have efficiency, I think, is the main thing that I'm doing. I'm not doing the bed method. I might want to try it a couple times. It's just been a really long time since I done the bed method. I think I sort of moved away from the quest of getting completely covered in netherite at some point when doing the hardcore world, because I used to always cover myself in netherite before I would go and fight the dragon, and then I just started dying and it was just taking me forever, and so I stopped doing that. Unfortunately, I didn't have any gold on, so all those hoglins attacked me, and I had gone to refit all of my stuff, meaning that I didn't have a lot of gear to go with it, so that was unfortunate. So we ended up having to just run in and hope for the best and be like, oh, we'll just pick up all of our material. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Look at all this stuff. We're picking it all up. No problems. Except he has all of my enchanted gear. Look at him. He's wearing all my stuff. And so I went to go attack him in order to try and get it. And so we were hitting him and he won. So we came back with a stick again to try and get all of my gear. So I went around and picked up all my stuff, and now the little piglin has my pants on, meaning that I'm gonna have to then fight him, which is also another pain. But I also don't want to lose my elytras. And he also still has all of that enchanted stuff because I had both of my pants. And so I had to clear out my materials. Thankfully I'm covered in gold, so they're not attacking me right now. But that's the only thing I really got going for me. And so that was a bit of a bummer. I realized at this point that I was still missing some of my materials, which was a little nerve-wracking as I ran around trying to find some stuff. And then I realized that this little guy has my sword, which was unexpected. So then I decided that I was going to go and hit them with my axe because that's all I had left. And I took out the axe, and then this guy picked up all the rest of my clothes, which was a real pain. So then I was like, great, I'm just going to go attack him. And so I ran after him to go get him and get my material from there. This little feller. I don't like how fast these guys are. It's a real pain trying to get your stuff back. You're like, please, for all that is good, let me have my stuff back. This guy was just running like for days. And so I quickly eventually put all of my stuff on, and I was like, yes, we've done it. We've achieved our goal. We've got our netherite piece. We've got all of our materials on, and we've got our boots. I don't see them, but we got our boots. Anyways, so I decided I was going to go back, and then this whole army showed up, and I was like, well, that's great. Now I'm going to have to deal with all of you guys. So then they decided to come and attack me, and I was like, this is not good. You're in between me and getting out of here. But unfortunately, their army was greater than me. So this time, instead of going back and getting my stuff without any material at all, I finally accepted the fact that I was just going to have to trade with some villagers to get some like temporary gear, just so I could go and fight them, and then kind of work my way up from there. So I got myself a sword and I got myself some armor, and I was like, this is gonna have to be good enough because the last thing I wanted is for my stuff to despawn. But considering the fact that all the mobs just keep picking up all of my material, I think I'm probably good with that. So I at least have that going for me. But either way, it's been a pain. So I eventually made it down here and was greeted by all of my armor, which was very exciting. And then over there is all of my stuff. And so I quickly ran over to go get all of that stuff and was grabbing all of that material and picking all that stuff up. And then this guy started shooting at me. So then I went to go hit him because he's got one of my helmets on. And so then this guy started shooting at me. So I ran to go get him. And I was clearing out all of my inventory to make sure I got everything. And I see I've only got like one elytra, which is not good. And then the worst thing ever, that guy took my elytra, meaning I had to hit him, which was no good because then that meant that all of those guys are suddenly going to start hating me, which is not ideal. And so I had to clear out my inventory so I could pick up the elytra. And there, he's starting to run towards me. And I still got stuff over here. So with all of my blocks, I quickly started building up my walls because I was like, oh my goodness, I have to wait for them to finish being angry at me. And so I hid out in here for a while and made sure that I got all of my stuff. Thankfully, because I was trapped in here for quite a while because there was really nothing I could do once they got mad at me. And I wasn't willing to go back out there and fight them again. So I just kind of chilled out in here for a little while I waited for them to eventually not be mad at me. And so I slowly made my way out of the depths of looking for netherite and making my way back to the home base, filling in some holes with some of this additional netherrack that I have so that I don't accidentally fall inside anything. So yeah, that is the adventure that we went on this week. Next week, I think I'm probably going to try and go back into the trial temple. So yeah, we'll do it with our sword and shield and see how this goes. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.